Hello, everybody. My name is Alexandra with This is Improv, and we are here for another episode of Tacobout It Tuesday, where we talk about all things the arts and interview people who have experience with them or audiences that have viewed them for years. Today, we have one of my students. We have Maya with me today.
Hi.
Hi. So, Maya, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit?
Oh, okay. I'm Maya. I've been doing theater for a long time now, and I started improv earlier in the year, but I've always been doing theater.
So what would you say, Maya, is the thing that got you interested into theater in the first place?
I just really like to just perform. I like being on stage doing stuff, and I just really liked to perform.
What is it about performing that keeps you doing theater? Because I know some people try theater or try choir or try, that kind of stuff, and then after a while it gets boring. But why would you keep on doing it and practicing it?
I just like to be on stage. I like actively doing things. I like to move around. I like to perform. I like to be animated, and that's just what helps me stick with doing theater for as long as I have.
Okay, so you said you've been doing theater for a long time. When did you start?
Probably kindergarten, so I was 5.
Wow. Yeah, that's a long time. I mean, you're still very young, but still, it's a long time. You are the youth, Maya.
I am the youth.
So what would you say is your favorite part about performing arts? You've done musicals, you've actually dabbled in writing, you've done theater. So what would you say is your all-time favorite part of it?
Well, I like doing musicals or plays where there's like an audience and I can perform on a stage.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, yeah. I very much enjoy that, yeah.
So how has it been since you said on stage? I know that you've been doing some rehearsals via Zoom with your school and stuff. So what is the transition for you? How's it been going completely virtual compared to being on stage?
It's been hard to not be there with other people, because I think a big thing about theater is being with other people and doing it all together. And when you're virtual, you don't really have as much as that as you would have if you weren't.
Right. I will ask, what is your thoughts about improvisational theater now that you've been doing it? You've been doing it for quite a while now.
It's been a few months.
It's been a few months. So what are your thoughts about improv?
I really like doing improv for these few months. I think that it's since you're making it up, sometimes I have the craziest ideas just while I'm doing stuff, and I'll just like blurt it out. Whereas theater, that I'm not blurting random stuff out, it's different. Like improv, it gives me a chance to say crazy ideas and make them into a crazier story. And
yes, you do have very good stories.
yeah, I'm a great storyteller.
Yes, you are. You're a very good storyteller. Now, Maya, talking about the games and things like that, what is your favorite game or exercise to do?
This one's easy. All right. My favorite game is 1 Minute Fairy Tales.
Why?
Because I have to retell a story based on the title, and most of the cases I don't know the story, so I just based off the title. For example, with the story Thumbelina, I made up a story about a thumb that was a ballerina.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is why 1 Minute Fairy Tales is my favorite game.
Yes, you do like 1 Minute Fairy Tales. So much so that we've gotten into the fairy tales from around the world. So now we have hundreds more to choose from. So when you're telling your fairy tales, when you're doing debate, how we play debate and stuff like that, and you have to come up with things on the fly, how was it to transition from, because you are a thinker, you're always thinking. So yeah, you're always thinking. So how was it to transfer from thinking really hard about something to just blurting things out?
It was difficult at first. Like in my first lessons, I probably didn't speak for like 30 minutes. I was probably just like sitting there. I think that's what was happening. I was just sitting there. It was difficult for me because before I was reading everything, I was memorizing anything, and if I got a word wrong, that was bad. Mm-hmm. But now I'm just like blurting out random stuff and just hoping it comes together in this one big thing. So it was difficult to transition from scripted everything to woo.
Yeah. No, that's actually a really good representation of what we do, yes. The randomness of it. Who would you say is your favorite person that you've learned about so far, or favorite subject during lessons?
I know the person. Forgot the name.
It's okay. Tell me about him and I'll help you out.
Okay. So you know that lady who no one talks about, and then we learned
Viola Paley?
Yeah, the lady who started that thing with all the groups of people.
Yeah.
Like learn and stuff. And she started like a lot of the improv games and helped them go,
Her. You like Viola?
Viola Paley, yeah.
Why do you like her so much, other than the starting a lot of improv practices?
Well, I really like improv games, so I think that I owe a lot of my love for improv games to her, Mm-hmm. I really like Viola Paley because she started all these improv games, and she found a way to get people that were totally different to help like make them work together. And so I thought that was cool.
Yeah. There's a lot of collaboration in improv, right? So when you do games and stuff, why do you think that they are so fun for you? Why are the games fun?
The games are fun for me because I like to say random things and they are sometimes very weird and they come out very weird, and I just have to roll with it, and I have to make it into one thing, and doing that is a very fun process for me.
Good. And now you've also had to do some writing for class, so what do you think are the most challenging parts about writing, and what are the easiest parts about writing?
Okay. The easiest part about writing is coming up with the idea, because I always get an idea for something from somewhere. Like, I don't know. I don't come up with the ideas. It's always something that has something very different, and I exaggerate it to a point where it's a story. The hardest part about writing is probably like just making sure that the idea that I have like flows, like works, like putting it into words.
Right. The structure part of it.
Yeah, the structure part of it is hard for me.
Now you do come up with really fun characters. And you are really good at coming up with random things. You've gotten really good, and I'm really proud of your effort, because you've been growing as a student. So I'm very proud of you for that.
Thank you.
So when you come up with your characters, one of them being a very selfish girl who lives in a castle. I remember that one. So where do these people in your head come from?
Well, a lot of them are people that I know. And I think that one girl that was really selfish and lived in a castle was me trying to make fun of myself. So I get everything. I get a lot of the characters that I've created with my brilliant mind
Right, of course.
um, from things that I've already seen.
So you take inspiration from real life?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good way of putting it.
Thank you. Yeah. No, of course. Yeah, you take inspiration from real life. That's really cool. And you actually you went through the journey. You did the hero's journey, right? So the hero's journey, it was, we did it, your classroom has been your room behind you. So what do you think was the journey all about? How did you feel going through it?
Well, going into doing the journey, I was extremely nervous because I thought it was supposed to be some sort of serious thing for serious actors who like portray deep emotions, and I can't do that. And so I was really nervous about that. But then I did the journey thing and I put my twist on it. I was able to add my little elements. Yeah. So that was good about it. I'm pretty sure I did it the wrong way though. I don't know. I don't know that.
You didn't do it the wrong way. I mean, at the beginning of the journey, I said, make it your own kind of hero, because it's difficult for you, especially because, you're just learning how to do a lot of these theater techniques. So it's a little bit more difficult for you to keep that tremendously serious tone on you when you do some of this stuff. And it's not meant to be serious. You're supposed to have fun with the journey and explore in the random world that is going on around you, and battle those things and complete those quests. So I think you portrayed the hero to the best of your ability, and I think that was what was fun about it, was that this is how you saw the hero, which was a bit quirky.
Like myself.
Yeah.
I am the true hero, so.
Exactly. So I think that you portrayed the hero very well. So Maya, fun question. If I saw you walking across the street and I was like, oh my gosh, who's that girl over there? What can't I tell just by looking at you?
I'm a very confident person. Like, I'm not like one of those people who like just like walks hoping not to get noticed. Like, I want people to like see me, I wouldn't say that I'm very like self-centered, conceited of a person, narcissist, but I'm confident.
Yes, you are.
I'm a confident person.
You are.
I guess that's probably what you can tell first when you see me. Also, I get really tired when I'm outside, so if you see me walking, I'm probably really tired.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I don't walk very much. So when I do, I'm always like really tired.
I mean, you get tired walking outside. That's a known fact. That's biological fact.
Yeah, I have it worse than most people.
Oh.
You know
okay.
why?
Why?
Because I am afraid of all animals.
Maya says that she's a very, confident person. You truly can't tell that the first time you meet her. You were very quiet, because we were just getting to know each other, because this is all based on trust. The classroom is trust. And it was really fun actually to see how much you came out of your shell in terms of your ideas and how you spoke. You spoke a lot more loudly. Yes, we had more jazz hands.
On my shell.
You did. You climbed out like a hermit crab.
They do that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There you go. You learn something new every day. It's been really cool to work with you in class. So, what would you say taking the classes so far has been the most difficult and the most fun?
Well, the most difficult part was at the beginning when I was I was a young child 2 months ago. And now look at me, I'm a grown adult.
Yep.
All grown up. The most difficult part was the beginning when I couldn't even like talk. Like I had no experience with improv whatsoever.
Right.
I mean, I played Freeze and Justify once, but the teachers never picked me. I'm so bad at Freeze and Justify too.
And now
I'm probably like a pro at Freeze and Justify.
Yeah, probably are.
Yeah, like, put me in the world champ. Let me go back. So the most difficult part about doing improv so far was me starting off and just adjusting to doing improv from what I had been doing, like scripted stuff. The funnest part is probably the improv games. That's probably it. That's it.
That's good. Hey, they're fun.
1 minute fairy tales. Funnest part. 1 minute fairy tales is the funnest part of improv.
Yes.
I would like to be sponsored by 1 minute fairy tales.
I want to ask, what do you think people need to know about performance and visual arts?
The arts is a good way for you to express yourself. Like, you can be out there, you can be doing stuff, you can be animated, and that is one of the many great aspects of theater and performance art and arts in general. And also theater specifically is really good for like teamwork, I think, because like even working on musicals, you're all like in a team and you all have the same goal, which is like to make sure that the show is good. And I've met a lot of friends doing theater, and it was a good way to find people with my same interests. You can find me on my blog. It's called Maya the Hero Does Improv. She's always thinking.com.
She's always thinking.com.
Yeah.
Awesome. So that'll be
find me on my TikTok page called Maya the Hero Does Improv.com. No, it's a TikTok account, so it's at Maya the Hero Does.
Excuse me. TikTok account. Well, a huge thank you to Maya for joining me on today's episode of Tacobout It Tuesday. Thank you
for having me on Tacobout It Tuesday. I'm quite surprised that I wasn't gifted tacos. I thought I was going into this because you were going to give me tacos, but
you may or may not receive them by pigeon. Depends if they eat it or not on the way over. It's always a risk, carrier pigeons is always a risk.
I see.
So you can also take classes with This Is Improv at www.thisisimprov.com. We have classes for improvisation, writing, improv for life, and corporate team building. Again, that's www.thisisimprov.com. If you have any questions about improvisation or want us to add an organization to the description down below, you can email info@thisisimprov.com. We also have a podcast called This Is Legends of Yesterday, where we talk about histories, mysteries, and ghost stories of Florida. So if you have any histories, mysteries, or ghost stories, anything interesting, you can, again, email us at info@thisisimprov.com, or you could send in a recording of yourself to the same email and hear yourself on the podcast. You can listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thank you again so much to the lovely Maya for joining me today. Yes.
You are always welcome.
All right, everybody, have a beautiful Taco Tuesday. Eat some tacos. Goodbye. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Talk About It Tuesday.